The year is 1978, a lone bus, a terrible crash, out upon the old and winding dirt roads which skirt a vast American wilderness. A survivor, a young woman, her mind scarred by a life of tragedy. Her name is Alicia. She is alone. She is injured. And around her, quietly, slowly, a surreal and deadlier nightmare unfolds. Right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kieran and welcome to Them and Us, a new survival horror game being developed by Tendo Games. Not much is known about Tendo Games as they seem to be a recently founded company, as Them and Us appears to be their first project. They were founded back in 2015 and the company is actually made up of 7 developers who have around 13 or more years of experience in game development. And that's it. That's all we know about Tendo Games and the history about Them and Us, next to nothing. Which, to be honest, isn't uncommon that a company is quiet about their history, and I'm not going to shame them for that, because it makes my life so much more easier, to be honest. Because I don't need to go searching, I don't need to go fucking searching in Facebooks and Twitters and shit like that. I can just move on to the gameplay. After playing the early access version of the game on Steam, I can tell you that the game plays like a normal Resident Evil or Silent Hill game would. I would actually say that the game plays more like the Evil Within 2 with the free movement while aiming and just the movement in general. Weapons do have limited ammo as per usual, like other survival horror games, with the main weapons being a standard handgun and a shotgun. You can tell the game is inspired by the likes of Resident Evil, especially because of a classic puzzle to get the shotgun being actually really similar to the puzzle in RE Remake with the death masks. If you don't know which one I'm talking about, there's like you get a bunch of death masks to get one of the mansion keys, and so basically you get a collection of death masks that represent a different emotion on the face. You go down to a cavern or go down to like this cave, or not cave, like a tomb kind of thing, and once you place all the masks, what's it called again? One of the Crimson Head zombies, which is one of the zombies that died and then came back. One of them comes on and is a wee miniature boss fight with a Crimson Head. This is what basically happens there, is that once you get a bunch of statues, and once all those statues are placed on, you get the shotgun. Once you get the shotgun, boom, Crimson Head. That's what it is. It's very similar to RE Remake, by the way. Which is it a bad thing? Not really, it's just kind of an Easter egg kind of thing. Like, if you have not played RE Remake, then you're not going to notice it, you're not going to have a bad time with it. Even if you do, if you have played RE Remake, like I know most of you have, you're going to like it, you're going to be surprised by it, you're going to be like, oh fuck, wait, this reminds me of that game, which is cool. Saying that, yes, puzzles are in the game, and I can get a good idea of what we're going to be seeing anyway. Since the first puzzle was a near copy of RE Remake Death Mask puzzle, I can see that the rest of the game having similar sort of puzzles as well. Maybe at one point we're going to need like a replica of a key to replace the actual key in order to survive a trap, kinda like in, you know, that game, Resident Evil, yeah, kinda like in that. I do hope it's a mixture, like a good mixture of both the Resident Evil puzzles, simple enough to solve and doesn't take up too much like time, and Silent Hill puzzles, which do take up a lot of fucking time and have you sitting there for a good while. Enemies in the game are standard zombies, but they are a bitch sometimes to kill. If a zombie gets too close to you, they can actually lock onto you and you have to struggle to get out, and they do take a chunk out of you, like in the classic RE games. Yeah. This can make it difficult for a knife kill in this game, as zombies usually always grab onto you before you do too much damage. Some zombies can sometimes gain speed while pursuing a player, making it quite difficult to get a good distance away from them before turning around and shooting, because when you get a good distance away and you turn around and try and shoot, they're fucking sprinting towards you. There is also stronger enemies in the game, such as the one that I was just talking about there, the Crimson Head from, again, RE Remake. I'm just going to call them Crimson Heads. They don't actually have an actual name in Them and Us, so I'm just going to call them that. Because they are basically that, let's be honest. In the early access version of the game that I played, it just ends as a boss was introduced that definitely wasn't a zombie. It looks more like the Undead Mountain from Game of Thrones, but in some kind of like fucking Zodiac killer gear for some reason. What I was surprised by this game was the small first person segments with Alicia in some kind of like locked room in Asylum. This segment was more like psychological horror and similar to that of Silent Hill 4 The Room. I think these sections can be revisited through the inventory menu, as there is an option for memories next to the standard options like notes and items. Classic save rooms also make a return in this game, and since most survival horrors actually have their own unique save item like Resident Evil with the ink ribbons and Remothered with the mirrors, Them and Us has a gramophone which requires a music disc in order to save your progress. Which I thought was pretty cool because after you save your game, music actually starts to play from the gramophone, so that's cool. This game does look very promising, and I must admit I do get excited when I'm playing it. The game has a lot of inspiration from Resident Evil, much like Daymare 1998, the last survival horror game that I covered, and I did give a little bit of shit towards that because it did draw so much of RE, so I don't want to give this game a pass as well, but at the same time this game does look so much more different and promising. The main issue I had when playing the early access version of this game was the knife being pretty much useless against the zombies, as every time you get close to them they either vomit on you, kinda like in Resident Evil, or they do the insta-grab thing and you don't even have a chance to stab them. But yeah, I actually don't have too much to complain about this game, except I want to see more gameplay, and that's about it. I want to see more gameplay in the mansion section because I'm curious if it's going to be more like Resident Evil 1, where it is more along the lines of kinda cheesy, if you get what I mean. Or it will be more like Remothered, where it's going to be dark, dreary, very depressing. Don't get me wrong, Remothered is actually quite a nice game to look at. The mansion was actually quite cool in that game. Anyway, yeah, we don't actually know too much on the story as well. Even in the small amount of game that I played, there was a little bit of story in there in the memory section, which is cool. Anyway, yeah, we don't actually know too much on the story, even in the small amount of the game that I played. There was a little bit of story in the memory section, which is cool. Which is a cool touch, by the way. I actually got kind of creeped out in the memory bit. But going back to the Daymare thing, the reason why I wasn't really interested in that game, and the reason why I gave it a little bit more shit for looking more like RE than this game, is because that game really looks like Resident Evil. Like, even from everything from the over-the-shoulder camera to just the way the game looks and acts, it was really just Resident Evil. And I think, yeah, like I said before in that video, one of the news articles puts it very well, of this is a Resident Evil game in another universe. And the thing is, I don't get that vibe from this game. Yeah, there is a lot of Easter eggs to Resident Evil, yeah, there is a lot of inspiration from Resident Evil, but it's definitely its very own thing. It's like, here's another example, Kun. You could say Kun draws a lot of inspiration from Fatal Frame and Resident Evil, but it's its own very own thing. It definitely stands out from both of those games. Even though it draws a lot of inspiration from both of them, it's definitely its own thing. And I don't think that's what Daymare doesn't do, but this is what this game does right here. I think everything from like just the general art style of this game as well, and just the environments and the atmosphere, I definitely dig this a lot more than Daymare, because Daymare did feel a lot more like Resident Evil and didn't feel any different from that. Don't get me wrong, I am still excited for Daymare. I am looking forward to seeing more. I'm looking forward to actually playing it. But right now, it just looks like Resident Evil, so yeah. But back onto the Them and Us. Them and Us does look very promising. I am really excited for this game, especially how it's like, it literally just got popped on Steam, and I was like, do you know what, let's buy the early access. And when I bought the early access, I didn't know it was early access. Yeah, I should have probably read that. So when I started playing it, and after 30 minutes, it literally ends so abruptly. Like, it was the first boss, and then it was like, credits. I was so pissed off, but then when I went onto the Steam page, when I was going to write the review and going to like refund it and all that, I seen everything. I know I should have probably read it first, but you know, this is me just coming home from a night and just seeing like, oh, it's a new game. But yeah, it looks cool. It was fun, and I gave it a very positive review, but then I was still saying to everyone's like, by the way, if you're buying into this, you are buying into just a short little demo. This game, like, you're paying for the demo to basically fund the game, or fund the rest of the development anyway. So yeah, if you're interested in funding this game, if you're just interested in helping this game out, then Them and Us is available on Steam Early Access for about £12. I don't know how much that is in the US, I don't know how much that is in Europe, but it's £12 over here, and you only get about 30 minutes of gameplay, but it gives you a good idea of what to expect from the rest of the game. Before I head off, I would like to thank Simon609 and Kendall Gunshaw for supporting me over on Patreon. It really helps me out, so thanks so much for your support. Anyway, that's me for this video, thanks for watching, and see you later. Bye bye.